February 6, 2025, YouTuber Kayla boarded an Amtrak sleeper train from Houston, Texas to Chicago, Illinois. Known for her calm, minimal life travel vlogs, Kayla often films herself camping or living simply on the road. But this trip felt different. The station air was heavy, the lights dim, and whispers spread about a wanted fugitive caught somewhere along this very route.
Bus stopped, and it looks like they took somebody off the bus. And the driver said stay here, so I don't know what that means, but we're stopped in the middle of the highway, so I don't know. Bus is leaving, and now we're just waiting for the train. We actually made it here early, so just gonna wait around. That was a pair of shoes. Those are just two random pair of boots. That's pretty scary. I'm in the train station right now, and it's kind of creepy. It kind of has a weird smell. It is giving me a really bad headache. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not sure when the train comes, so I'm just sitting here waiting.
Her journey began with a delay. Before even reaching the train, the bus she was riding was stopped by police. Someone was taken away in handcuffs. When Kayla finally arrived at the terminal, the air carried an odd smell that made her head ache. She filmed her ticket, the quiet waiting room, and the flicker of the overhead lights as she prepared to board.
Alright, so I'm finally walking to the train. It was supposed to be here earlier, but it got delayed due to a wanted fugitive, so police had to come and take him off the route, and we got pulled over too on the bus for the same situation, I guess, which was really weird. But the train finally came, and this nice lady's asking for my meal, and then the guy came and took me to my room, which was a pretty long walk actually. What's up here? I think this is the bed. I think it comes with two beds. Okay, well, let me to change. That just like took so much weight off me. Finally got my PJs on, and I'm way more comfortable than I was just a few minutes ago, and I'm really happy that the train is finally moving now. I do like the motion, so I know I'm gonna get a good sleep, but I'm ready to eat and I'm starving. I want to show you guys what I got. Oh, there's a lot actually, and it's hot. That is satisfying. I think that's one of the most satisfying things I've ever done. But so basically, it is kind of loud.
The train was late. Officials explained it was due to a fugitive being removed from the tracks earlier that evening. When she finally stepped inside, a uniformed attendant guided her to a small sleeper cabin with two narrow beds and soft yellow light. She placed her bags down, changed into comfortable clothes, and watched the world outside fade into darkness as the train began to move. Dinner came on a tray: a cheeseburger, butter chicken, and a brownie.
I'm going to Chicago on a train. If you guys didn't know, oh snap. I haven't seen my mom in a while, and my sister, and I do miss them, so I'm coming out there. I do live with my dad in Texas, so I don't get to see my mom as much, but I thought I'd make a trip out here just to see him for a few days, which, oh, I am very excited because they haven't seen me in a while. Oh. And the train is moving. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's pretty rocky. I do kind of feel like a little dizzy, but nothing too bad. That sounds satisfying. I used to sleep on trains and be on trains a lot. My mom lost her house, and we would travel a lot, so I'd pretty much be ending up sleeping in trains. Not like something like this big. This is my first time like sleeping in something nice. I just normally ride like the city trains and stuff like that, but stuff happened, and then my brother came, and then we lived with him and his wife. But that's a different story, and that's a really long story. But yeah, being on a train, it does give me, you know, flashbacks and memories of actually sleeping on like a city train and the hard times that I was going through. So yeah, it was a lot. So I am getting sleepy though. This is my bed for the night. It's pretty comfortable. The mattress is kind of like thin, but the blankets are pretty soft. I'm about to get some rest. I'm really tired, and the rocking emotions kind of making me nauseous a little bit, but sleepy at the same time. So
ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention please.
think they're gonna stop here. About the cafe.
About 2 minutes, the cafe will be
But I'm gonna wait till he stops talking.
Also, if you do want to grab something from the cafe, that'll be a great time. Please keep in mind, folks, in these areas, you might not have very good cell
signal. Yeah, I figured. I literally have no signal. It's an SOS mode right now, which is insane. So I'm about to get some rest. I am really tired. I had a really long day. See you guys in the morning.
While eating, she spoke softly to the camera, saying she was traveling to Chicago to visit her mother and sister, people she hadn't seen in a long time. She mentioned growing up without a home, sleeping on city trains as a child, and how this luxurious ride felt strangely familiar. Later that night, exhaustion settled in. She described the bed as thin but warm, the motion of the train almost hypnotic. The camera caught her voice slowing, words fading as she drifted off to sleep.
I didn't really get a good sleep to the end. Oh, I finally got my comfortable spot. I just got to stretch from it. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm starving. Let's go get some breakfast.
The table looks like it's a little broke. It'll hold up while you're eating. Just you might have trouble getting it back into place.
Okay. He took the thing out. He said it was kind of broke, which makes sense because I couldn't open it yesterday, but I'm excited to eat. And they did give me ketchup. I can see it. This is sweet relish. I might use this because it reminds me of pickles, because I think that's what it's literally made of, pickles, cucumbers and stuff. I'm going to use these two. I don't like mustard. And they gave me a brownie. The brownie was actually good. And they gave me a nice cup of ice. So let's dig in. It smells kind of weird. The bread is hard. The crazy part is that the train is so wobbly, my camera is sliding. So, sorry about that. Should be good now. Alright, let's try ketchup. This is a big glizzy too, that it doesn't even fit inside the bun all the way. It's crazy. That's good enough. Man, this is so wobbly. I can't push the chair. Okay, it's leaning. But I'm gonna take a bite of my glizzy. The hot dog is actually really good. I don't know about the bread. It's hard and it's like really thick. So shaky. It's almost time for me to get off anyways. I literally have 5 minutes till it stops. I guess I just used this as a viewing area. It still has pretty nice sights. Yeah, pretty nice. Back in hometown. I haven't been here since Thanksgiving? So pretty nice actually. But I'm ready to get back to Houston, honestly. It's 80 degrees out there and it's so cold in Chicago right now. Not ready for the cold.
Chicago Union Station. It's okay to detrain at this time. Chicago Union Station.
And that was my cue to get off.
By morning, she woke to hard sunlight, a stiff mattress, and the sound of breakfast being served somewhere down the narrow hallway. Viewers later noticed how calm she seemed, even while mentioning the fugitive delay. Some commented on how relaxing the footage felt, while others admitted it made them uneasy, as if something about that silence on the train lasted longer than it should have. When she finally arrived in Chicago, Kayla smiled at the camera, but many still wonder, was the unease she felt that night just nerves, or something she couldn't see passing down that same track? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. On January 29, 2022, Luke Nichols, creator of the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys, began a winter camping trip deep in Alaska alongside his sister Michelle. Known for documenting survival and family adventures in the wild, Luke's channel often captures warmth in harsh places. But this time, as temperatures dropped below 7 degrees, their journey led them north, beyond the Arctic Circle into a silence so vast it seemed to listen back. Then, as night fell, something began to howl.
We're on the Dalton Highway. Woo! This is hardcore, Michelle.
I know. I'm doing it.
All right, Michelle, we're here at the Yukon River. We're here at the only gas pump between Fox and the Arctic Circle, and one of the only buildings between Fox and the Arctic Circle. When I was engaged to my wife, I actually spent 5 weeks living north of here along the side of the road with a construction crew. And I used to have to come down here to get gas all the time. In front of each of these parking spots, they have a 120 volt outlet. So you can go ahead and plug in your oil pan heaters to keep your cars from freezing overnight. All right, let's check out our room. Hey, Michelle. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, aha, hoagies. We're here at the Yukon River Camp common room here, and we're gonna make a little dinner. Doing something. The ventilation system is working very well. Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. I was gonna cook these over a campfire tonight, but you know, you gotta be adaptable when you're in Alaska. Best Philly cheesesteak north of the Yukon, right here. So right now we are on the banks of the Yukon River here at the Yukon River Camp, and we've got about 2.5–3 hour drive to the Arctic Circle tomorrow. So we are in easy striking distance of our campsite for tomorrow. So this will be nice.
The drive north began under a gray sky, the snow stretching endlessly across the Alaskan frontier. Luke and Michelle passed Denali National Park, Healy, and Nenana, towns small and still under layers of frost. The thermometer read 7 degrees, but the deeper they drove, the colder it felt. At Yukon River Camp, they decided not to set up their tent in the darkness. Instead, they stayed inside the small outpost, resting before the road ahead. By morning, the world outside was white and silent. After breakfast and a stop to see the Alaska pipeline, they continued toward their destination.
There's the Arctic Circle! Yay! We gotta stand in front of the sign. The Arctic Circle is the lowest latitude at which in the wintertime you can have a point where the sun doesn't rise, and at a point in the summer when the sun doesn't set. There you go, guys. Arctic Circle, latitude 66 degrees, 33 minutes. My fingers. From this point, anything north is in the Arctic Circle, and we are going to be camping in the Arctic Circle. This is your first winter camping trip, isn't it?
Yes.
One of these semi-trucks pass you can't see anything. Look at this. Whoa. I think it's time to do a little digging here. So yeah, you did it! And start clipping your way up. Further to the back. This is fat wood. You smell it. It's got a strong pine smell to it. When a pine tree dies, all the resin drains down to the stump, chop up the stump, and it's full of this flammable pine tar, and so it makes a good fire starter. I'll take my tin. There we go. Giving you a nice warm home going out in the woods, I suppose, too. Let's see. Here, we'll put some rice in there. We got olive oil and diced onions here.
Yeah, they did have Mongolian.
No sense in taking stuff back home, right? Let's use this up. We got some heavy whipping cream here. I forgot to do that.
This looks delicious.
What do you think? Smell good?
It smells delicious.
Awesome.
That's not awkward.
Just pretend the camera's not here.
It's not awkward.
The camera's not here. Just not too bad, huh?
It was delicious.
It's low calorie. It's diet.
They reached the weathered wooden sign that marked the Arctic Circle, a quiet milestone few travelers ever touch. Beyond it, the road narrowed and the wilderness grew emptier. They found a clearing off the highway, buried in snow, and began to work. Luke shoveled out space for the tent, the snow crunching under every step. Inside, they assembled the hot tent, its metal stove flickering with orange light. Soon, the cold outside was replaced by warmth so strong it felt like summer. They laughed, cooked beef stroganoff, and watched the steam rise against the canvas walls. Then came the sound.
Wow, we just finished dinner and it's getting kind of quiet. We just heard a wolf howl.
It was a wolf howl. Yeah.
It didn't sound that far away. But it was down near Tanana.
Oh, there it is.
Coming from that way. Oh gosh. That is totally a wolf.
Somewhere in the distance, a long, hollow howl rolled through the night air. Luke paused, listening. There was no panic, just silence after. Another faint echo followed, then faded into the wind. The fire burned lower, the tent glowed faintly, and outside, the vast snow-covered forest waited. Before sleeping, Luke set his camera outside to capture the night sky, hoping to see the northern lights. The footage ends quietly. Two siblings asleep, a fire dimming, and Alaska stretching forever beyond the frame. Some viewers said the wolves' howls were haunting, but others noticed how calm Luke remained. Maybe that's what makes the moment unsettling. It isn't fear, but the realization of how small humans become when the wilderness decides to remind them who's home. By morning, the tent had cooled and the snow had erased every track outside. The trip seemed peaceful, but many wondered if those howls ever stopped, or if the silence simply grew used to them. On September 27, 2021, Irish YouTuber Dara Ta, known for his daring exploration videos, entered what he called the most claustrophobic cave in the world. Filmed somewhere in the United Kingdom, this wasn't about chasing views or fame. It was about confronting his lifelong fear of confined spaces. A tunnel so narrow it barely allowed movement, a challenge that could only be finished by crawling through the darkness itself. The video begins at the cave's narrow entrance, where Dara explains his mission: to face claustrophobia head-on.
I mean, this is one of the hardest crawls in the world. This entrance crawl is obviously horrific, but on the way out then, there's a challenge called the vice. If you get wrong, you end up dropping down into the lower part of the keyhole and getting jammed.
What happens if you get jammed?
The last rescue took almost 9 hours from the incident happening to exiting the cave.
The last rescue?
This is just the entrance, man. I haven't seen anything yet.
I can't even turn my head. Keep going. Lovely. My heart is racing. This is so scary.
That is tight.
Oh god, I'm not liking that. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is not nice, man. How much worse does it get?
This is easy, boys.
Great. The opening passage is tight, forcing him to press his body against the cold stone as he inches forward. His breathing grows heavier as the tunnel narrows. Each small shift of his helmet scrapes the rock above. Further in, he admits this is the most dangerous situation he has ever been in. One wrong move could trap him completely. At one point, he gets stuck, unable to move forward or backward. The camera shows nothing but rough stone and the light of his headlamp trembling against it. He steadies his breath and continues.
Oh, come on. What am I doing? What am I doing? It's so deep. Everywhere's wet and cold. Oh, you're joking. You're joking. This is disgusting. That's a tight squeeze. Oh, it's tight as hell, man. This is the worst situation I've ever been in. Oh, go on. Big push. Mate, we're going down. Knee pads would have been good.
Do you want some good news, mate? Please. You've done it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So it's just the vice left?
Yeah.
So it's just massive caverns.
That's it.
And then an exit to the vice.
That's all it is, man. 64 kilometers, so
64 kilometers. That's crazy. We could easily get lost.
We're going to try and get to what's called the big chamber nowhere near the entrance.
So we've made it to the logbook.
Let's get it. I'm so made up.
We get to sign the logbook and be one of very few people who have ever been in this cave. Do it, Matt.
Yeah, I'm made up there.
How do you feel?
I feel accomplished.
We've been to one of the most remote places in the world.
And Dara.
Oh, hot. I'm gonna be a total scumbag here. Sub to Dara. Yeah!
After crawling for what feels like an eternity, he finally reaches a vast chamber deep within the cave system. Inside lies a logbook signed by past explorers. Dara adds his name before pressing onward to the final test, the vice, a passage so tight he can't even turn his head. Somehow, he makes it through. Viewers later said the scariest part wasn't the cave, but the calmness in Dara's voice while being trapped. It wasn't panic, it was resignation, as if he'd already accepted that fear was something you could only survive by moving through. Dara called it unbelievable and promised never to return. Yet many wondered, if fear lives in the dark, does escaping the cave mean you've truly left it behind? On April 28, 2023, truck driver and YouTuber Alex Nino, known for his late-night truck camping videos, parked his rig on a lonely hill somewhere in California. His channel usually shows the calm side of life on the road. Quiet drives, roadside meals, stories told beneath truck lights. But this night was different. Beneath that hill stood a cross marking where someone had died, a place Alex once swore never to return. Yet tonight, he did. The day began like any other. Alex filmed himself preparing the truck, checking the trailer, and loading pallets of grapefruit before hitting the road. As the sun faded, he delivered the load and pulled over for dinner. It was during this quiet break that he began talking.
Alright guys, so today we're staying. This exact location is a location where me and my uncle have always, whenever we stay here, we always get the ugliest feelings. And I think it's because I think a little bit more down the hill, someone passed away and there's like a big old cross on the floor. So whenever me and my uncle stay here, we always get these ugly feelings, especially at night. And I even one time got sleep paralysis. If you guys don't know what sleep paralysis is, I will pop up a definition right here. But it's one of the ugliest feelings ever. And ever since then, I have not stayed here. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna do it for you guys. Probably won't be that bad, but in my head, I'm probably gonna make it bad. But let's get ready for bed, make myself a cup noodles. I'm gonna watch a podcast, and I wanna show you guys the lights again. Like, it's such a vibe in here, man. Let's get ready for bed.
Not about work, but about the strange things he'd seen while driving. He spoke of seeing his grandmother's face in the moments before a car accident years ago, an image that lingered even after the crash. Then he told another story, one that still unsettled him. Driving with his wife near Bakersfield along Highway 99, they both saw a person sprint across the road. They hit the brakes, hearts racing, only to find no one there. When he replayed the dashcam footage later, the road was empty. That night, he parked his truck on a barren hillside. He'd been here before, a place that made him uneasy, with a large white cross at the base of the hill where someone once died. He admitted he had once experienced sleep paralysis here and had promised never to come back, but for the sake of the video, he broke that promise. The hill was silent, dark, and lifeless, just an open space surrounded by nothing. Inside the cab, the heater hummed. Alex made coffee, spoke softly about missing his family, and reflected on the loneliness of the job.
Honestly, I think being a truck driver is probably one of the loneliest jobs you can have. If you're an introverted person, this is the perfect job for you, but it honestly really does get super lonely, especially when you have a family. I have 3 kids and a wife, and I get super lonely. Sometimes I get really depressed on the road, and I don't even stay out on the road that long, a week at the most. Super hard though, because then there's times where you miss stuff. Like, I missed my son's first day of school ever, and I remember being so sad about that, so bummed out. But I've always told myself that you gotta be able to make sacrifices if you want to give your family the life that they deserve. Life is all about sacrifices, and if you're not willing to make sacrifices, I feel like sometimes if you're not willing to make sacrifices, you won't get ahead. You just have to, you gotta make sacrifices, man, especially as a truck driver. Well, I actually remember that my brother-in-law stayed down here too, and he heard knocking on the back of his sleeper. Like, back here, like if someone was on the catwalk knocking on it, and he looked outside and there was no one there. And it sounded like this.
He remembered how his brother-in-law once heard knocking on the back of his truck in this same spot. But when he looked, no one was there. Alex smiled faintly, brushed it off, and tried to rest. By morning, he said the night had been peaceful, except for one thing. He had dreamt of being chased by a man with a gun. Many viewers said stress and exhaustion could explain the dream, or even the knocking, but others weren't so sure. A cross, a memory of paralysis, and a promise broken all in one place. It's hard to say whether he was alone that night, or if something simply chose not to show itself. As he drove away, the hill disappeared in the mirror, quiet as ever. But those who know the road say the knocking never stopped. It just waits for the next truck to park there. On August 4th, 2024, outdoorsman Thomas Locke set out for a quick solo camp in a quiet UK woodland, with his dog Ari trotting beside him. Thomas Locke's channel usually captures calm wild camp moments and honest fieldcraft, simple tents, simple meals, honest nerves. But this evening felt different from the start. Late after the gym, racing the light, turning off the main path toward a darker pocket of trees. He hoped for rest. Instead, he found a camp he couldn't finish. The rush begins the tone. Sunset is close. Thomas scraps his original plan and chooses a nearer forest, hoping to salvage the night. The approach is rough. Nettles, brambles, a narrow track that bites at bare legs until he stops, pulls on long pants, and presses deeper in. Then the feeling lands. He steps beneath thicker growth, and the mood shifts. Weird and wrong, he says later. The phrase he reaches for is spiritual trespassing, the sense of entering a place that does not want company.
It feels weird and wrong. It just feels like I've entered somewhere I shouldn't be, you know? Oh, as long as Archie's alright, I'll be alright. I think there might be another pathway for that. The gate. Yeah, very close to that other trail. But it's a small wood, isn't it? Archie! Archie! What's that about? Oh man, I don't know. Tell you what I'll do. I'll get some food going, some smidge spray on, and then I'll see how I feel. Just doesn't feel right. Let's get some food on. Just my mind playing tricks on me. What's wrong, Archie? This dog's tail, he keeps looking over there. His tail. It's just completely dropped. And he keeps looking in that direction. Just birds, mate, just birds. Yeah, fuck it. Nah. Something's fucky. Something's fucky. Pardon my language. The first time I've ever sworn on this channel. Does that prove that something feels genuinely off? We're out here, man. We're gone. It's dead quiet, the birds. The birds have all gone quiet. Except for that one. See if it feels completely different here. This feels so different. Here, compared to in there. I don't know what that was, I don't know what I just felt. I know what the comments are going to be. I was going to talk about how someone's commented and said, oh, if you're a naturally nervous person, maybe camping isn't right for you. It's going to be like, thumbnail was going to be, should I quit camping? Question mark, question mark. It's going to be a great bloody clickbait. Not really. Emotive title.
He tries to steady the evening with routine. If he cooks, maybe the unsettled edge will dull. Ari answers first. The dog's tail drops. She stops panting. She stares, locked to one direction in the trees, and will not break her gaze. Thomas goes quiet. The woods go quieter, dead quiet. Whatever warmth the plan once held slips away. He chooses the simple answer. Leave. Gear is gathered, steps unwind, and the air on the field edge feels immediately different, as if some pressure lifts the moment they clear the line of trees. He does not abandon the video. A stove comes out near the tree line. Chicken tikka begins to hiss. He explains the decision again, the silence, the feeling.
I was ready to go, man. Honestly, ready for it. And well up for it. But, like I say, as soon as I got in there, it felt like a sort of spiritual trespass. And then everything went quiet. I didn't realise until we were leaving that everything was quiet, that there were birds and crickets, which you can hear now, but there just weren't any in there, despite a large amount of foliage and despite it being fairly loud on the way in. And then Archie sees something, his tail goes basically inwards, and he stops even panting. You know when I said before about, like, I've never seen Archie growl like that? I've never seen Archie react like that to just nothing visible. He kept fixating on one spot, and then when he stopped fixating on that one spot, he just tail down, darting his eyes around in every direction. And it was quiet, man. It was quiet. And I know it's gonna be like, should have committed to it, shouldn't have gone back, should have stayed in there. But that didn't feel right at all. And on the beach camp, oh shit, I didn't trust Archie's reaction. And people were saying I would have trusted my dog's reaction, but good on you for staying. And I imagine if I'd have stayed in there, it would have been the exact same thing. It probably would have been absolutely fine. I would have just gone through it all and it would have been, you know, not an issue at all. But if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. Even now, something weird about that forest.
The way Ari froze. He has not heard her act like that before. The night seems ready to end that way. A near miss, a lesson. Then it breaks. From the forest he just left, a piercing scream tears out, loud, unplaceable, wrong.
You won't have heard that because I've got my mic on me. Can you hear that? Switch my mic off. I'm not messing around. I really hope the mic picked up. All the hairs on my back are up right now. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I promise you I'm not doing this for content. Holy crap, mate. Maybe I should quit camping. As I'm like looking out and thinking, right, I'm wrapping up this video. This is gonna be the last shot of the video. I'm gonna record myself looking out over the forest, you know, just looking out over the forest, saying, yeah, no, I don't feel any guilt about the decision I've made, because I don't know, you know, these are my closing thoughts on the whole situation. End of video, bang. Right as that happens, I hear a noise from the forest area that I was just at, that was like, "Arr!" And I'm not even joking, that sounds like I'm taking the mic, but I'm not.
He checks the mic and keeps filming. Crows erupt in a burst of agitation. A second scream follows, harsher, edged with pain. The field, the hedge, the dark line of trees hold their shape exactly as before. Only the sound changes everything. Thomas decides he was right to leave. He packs the last of his kit and goes. Viewers split. Some hear fox or deer, others point to the pattern, birds go quiet, dog locks on, and a gut warning most campers know. Your mind protects you first, one said. Another. The only difference between tragedy and survival is timing. Instincts won tonight. Badger having a bad night? Fox something else? If it was ordinary, why the dead silence before, and why did Ari freeze like that? The scream is on camera. The answer isn't. What do you think he walked into? On September 11th, 2022, a solo traveler known as Love Sundays parked his van in Cornwall, England, near the distant outline of St. Michael's Mount. His YouTube channel usually shares calm van builds and quiet camping nights, a mix of simplicity and solitude. That evening was supposed to be the same, one more peaceful stop by the sea. But as the night deepened and silence settled around the van, something outside began to feel disturbingly alive. He arrived just before dark and found an empty public car park that seemed perfect for the night. A sign warned against parking after midnight, but he decided to stay, whispering that he'd just have to be really, really quiet. Inside, the van was sealed from the world. Curtains closed, windows barely cracked, the air heavy with the quiet sound of cooking. He made a simple meal, tortellini on the stove, careful not to let light spill through the blinds. To stay unnoticed, he left the van for a short walk and ate away from it, not wanting anyone to know he planned to sleep there. When he returned, the streets were empty. He locked every door, checked his blackout curtains, and placed the key beside him, just in case. At 9 o'clock, the night outside had gone still. He lay down, the van completely silent. Then came the sound, a faint metallic click near the door.
I just heard something outside. Okay, I think they've gone. They literally tried to get in the van. It wasn't just a knocking, they were trying the handle. Let me check outside. My heart was pounding then. I mean, they were either trying to move me on or trying to break into the van. Either way, not pleasant. I think that if I'd heard them coming in more, I've got a metal pole here, I could have just got out and not done anything. I'm not moving. I'm probably not going to sleep now though.
He froze. It wasn't a knock. It was pressure, deliberate and slow, like someone testing the handle. His breath caught as he realized someone was trying to get in. The sound stopped as suddenly as it started. He stayed still for the rest of the night, listening to the silence that followed. By morning, the fear felt almost unreal. Outside, other campers had parked openly, doors wide, sunlight spilling over the sea. What had felt like danger hours before now looked harmless. But the memory of that sound, that brief rattle on the handle, lingered long after he drove away. Viewers offered their theories. Some said it was common, thieves testing van doors for tools or valuables. Others warned never to step outside. One distracts, another hides. Whether it was theft or curiosity, no one could explain the quiet precision, or why it stopped the moment he woke. He never saw who it was. No footsteps, no voice. Only the slow turn of a handle in the dark. Maybe it was nothing. Or maybe, whoever it was, already knew he was inside. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.